You're listening to the Warrior Rulebook Podcast with me, Monique Harmon. I love helping people express themselves, protect their peace, and be confident in being them. You may also know me as Pretty Nikki, who started her online journey as a modest fashion blogger. Now I'm an entrepreneur. You'll see through my experiences and the experiences of others that change is possible, improvement is tasty, and meaningful connection is transformational. Come on, share your story with me. The stories and information presented in my podcast is not intended to take the place of medical advice from a healthcare professional. So any exercise, diet, health-related, mental health matters vary from person to person. So nothing in the podcast will be construed or used as a substitute for medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Any action taken based on the contents of this podcast or the resources is solely at your own discretion, risk, and liability. So this podcast is simply here to be encouraging, but you should definitely seek a healthcare professional for additional help. Now let's get on to the show. Welcome to another episode of the Warrior Rulebook Podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, it's kind of a new setup going up where I'm going live on there right now. And today I just wanted to share a very quick tip. If you notice that you're about to lose someone or they may pass away unexpectedly, there are certain things that you can prepare for so that you're able to remember that person, right? So I lost my mom when I was about 21 years old. I lost her in 2018. And something that I regret deeply is not being able to take a lot of videos of her, because you may have watched TV before where someone passed away on the show, or maybe that person was never really introduced into the movie, but the person is referenced. And so they can turn on a home video and they can look at that. And so I didn't really have, to my knowledge, I don't have any videos of my mom. So that's something that I regret doing, or not doing, I should say, is just being out and about with her and just listening to her talk. Like, of course, I love listening to other people share their stories and talk about their life experiences and things like that, but I don't have any of that with my mom. And so another suggestion I would have is, if the person has ever sent you voicemails, like they tried to call you and you didn't pick up right away, save those voice notes, because I've actually saved voicemails from some of my friends and they still can make me laugh to this day. I can just hear their voice and the love that they have for me. And so that's something that I wish I had saved of my mom. So I don't even have that. And so I do know some people are nervous to be recorded. They don't like being recorded. It makes them feel weird. So something that you can do to kind of ease that worry for them is take a video of yourself. Maybe you're out and about with that person and you don't have to tell them what it's for, but you can just start recording yourself and being like, hey, like, we're out here going to the beach, or we're doing this particular thing, and we're having so much fun. You can tell them to wave at the camera, or you can even say or ask them, can they share some life advice with you? And you don't have to say what it's for, but just ask them to talk about anything and just tell them that you want to treasure it, because life is short. And at the same time, not wanting to put people on the spot, but just being able to go back and look at the impact that that person had on your life can be very encouraging. Um, my dad does have a home video of my mom, but it was more so like from third time. So like I feel like he resonates more with that. And it's not to say it's not nice to see my mom on there, but I really do wish that like I saw video like from the time that I knew her, because I can see her like on my church telecast, but she's not saying anything and not saying anything to me. So it's just kind of like, oh, it's so far away. It feels so far away. And so that's what my tip is for today. If you appreciate someone out there, just try to spend time with them, let them know that you appreciate them, but also the power of video is so powerful. You can use video to communicate things long after the video was recorded. So, thanks for listening to the Warrior Rulebook podcast. If you're on YouTube, you may notice that I am steadily uploading back episodes. So, go back on those and listen to those and watch those. And please leave a review. Reviews help me give you more content that you actually enjoy having to do with self development. And it also gives visibility to the podcast so that other people can see what is the hype about the podcast and what it can be beneficial for them. Thanks for joining. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Warrior Rulebook podcast. If you like what you heard, share it with a friend and join me over at the Warrior Rulebook Podcast Insider group on Facebook. And don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for more tips on how to be resilient in this world.